videos of rappers face me and all these things on my phone. Yeah. So my OnlyFans account is ready. I'm not into that right now. And I don't think my career needs tape right now.
Hey Kanye, did she put her fingers up your No!
We're gonna, after this, we'll show you my phone. You can see all your friends and rappers DMing me. They're nudes. So no, I don't have to do any work. So it's when I choose to have fun, they're available. But I don't
They was, yeah.
They was what?
They was each other.
Let's be conveniently gay. Like
kind of like homophobic, because it's like I would like go back and like question myself, like, damn, why does everybody else walk like this and I walk like this?
Welcome back to Juicy Pulse, your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. Kanye West is fuming at Jeffree Star right now, and it's not just over gossip. Word on the street is that Jeffree allegedly leaked a down-low tape, and Kanye's spiraling. But that's just scratching the surface. Let's be real for a sec. People have been whispering about this for a long time, and now it's looking a lot more real. Kim Kardashian didn't just pack up and leave because Kanye was acting erratic or going through a bipolar episode. Nah, she framed it like she had to protect the kids. But if you look deeper, there might have been something way wilder going on behind closed doors.
Rumor has it Kanye allegedly asked for a threesome. And no, it wasn't with another woman. Yeah, let that sink in. This ain't just speculation anymore. It's starting to look like the truth is messier than any of us imagined. And trust, we're only scratching the surface. The deeper you dig, the more twisted it gets.
So how did we even get into this chaos? This mess didn't pop out of nowhere. Things really kicked off when Kanye dropped that track Cousin.
In that track, he basically admits to hooking up with his actual cousin, who's now behind bars. What? That's not just wild, it's straight up jaw-dropping. Look, no one's here to shame anyone exploring their sexuality. Do your thing. But Kanye's been out here hiding behind masks, dissing queer artists, and throwing shade left and right, when maybe, just maybe, he's been wrestling with his own truth all along.
Throwing shade from a glass house, Kanye? That's wild. That Cousin track didn't just raise eyebrows. It had people staring at their phones like, did he really just say that? Because let's be clear, those weren't just lyrics. That was a confession, a tiny breadcrumb in a much messier trail leading to something even juicier.
Fast forward to this week. Twitter, yeah, we're still calling it X, but whatever, exploded. Jeffree Star popped off with a tweet that felt like a straight-up nuke. He said, okay, F it. The rumors are true. Boom. No filter, no backtracking. Now he didn't drop any names, but come on, the internet detectives were already sprinting. Every clue pointed straight to one man, Kanye Omar West. Yup, if you didn't know, now you know his middle name is Omar. Jeffree didn't have to say it out loud. When he starts speaking in codes and hints, the internet always comes through. People had the time, and the tweets were flying. But don't get it twisted, this rumor didn't start yesterday. Let's rewind to 2021. When influencer Ava Louise, yeah, her, went on social media and randomly dropped that Kanye had been acting real sus with a famous male beauty guru. She never said names, but the internet, they didn't need her to. Why? Because Jeffree just happened to be in Wyoming at the exact same time Kanye was laying low there. Same town, same week, same vibe. Coincidence? People weren't buying it. Nah, this ain't no coincidence. Hollywood doesn't move like that. People forgot. But Jeffree Star wasn't just playing with makeup back in the day. He was spitting bars. Yup, Jeffree was rapping. And in one of his old tracks called Be Please, he literally said, nipple off Kanye West. No, I'm one of the bros. What? At the time, folks brushed it off like he was just being outrageous for attention. But now, with that resurfaced tweet, that line's starting to hit way different. It aged like spoiled milk mixed with tea. Jeffree's always had a slick mouth and a habit of dropping sneaky hints, but some of those old lines don't sound like jokes anymore. Let's not forget, back in 2020, Jeffree tweeted something shady. If y'all only knew the truth about what they're doing to Britney and Kanye, like, who's they? And what exactly was happening behind the scenes? Now zoom out for a second. Kanye's been tangled in his fair share of love triangle drama, but until now, it's always been women in the mix. So when Kim Kardashian filed for divorce, everyone thought it was about his mental state or maybe that messy presidential stunt, but there could have been way more going on.
Even with those Kanye-Jeffree rumors floating around back then, one user posted, I saw a TikTok joking about people crying because Jeffree might be the first lady. I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe.
It was a joke at the time, but now? With all this DL tape talk and Jeffree's bold tweet, it's looking more like Kim wasn't trying to drag Kanye. Maybe she was just trying to protect his secret and walk away clean. While the media painted her as heartless, people said Kim abandoned him. But what if she was just done cleaning up his mess? Word on the street is that Kanye's behind the scenes losing it. Allegedly, he's been blowing up phones, yelling at people, and trying to shut Jeffree's tweet down. He's even threatening legal action. You know Kanye hates it when someone speaks on his name, especially when it makes him look vulnerable or like he's hiding something. But come on now, yeah. Seems like you do enough exposing of yourself. And here's the real question. If none of this is true, why are you so panicked? Innocent people usually chill. They don't go into meltdown mode. Where's the defamation lawsuit? Where's the proof to shut it all down? If it's false, clear your name. But right now, it's giving full-on damage control. Let's throw it back to 2022, when Jeffree showed up on Logan Paul's podcast. Of course, the Kanye rumors came up. And what did Jeffree say? Crickets. But right after dodging the question, he casually admitted he's been involved with rappers. Like, if it ain't Kanye, then who's he talking about? Come on, Jeffree. Name names or stop with the tease. And just when you think he's done stirring the pot, he tells Logan he's got receipts. Yes, actual receipts, like real evidence locked and loaded. So now everyone's wondering, is Jeffree holding on to something that could blow the whole thing wide open? Jeffree straight up told Logan Paul he could show him the receipts, as in pull up his phone and flash actual pics of the rappers he's been with. And we're not talking soft selfies, y'all. We're talking mood pics, thirst traps, DM slides, full-on energy. Apparently, rappers have been diving into Jeffree's inbox bold, unbothered, and shameless. And it's not just one or two. This been happening. But here's where it gets wild, because everything's starting to circle right back to one man, Kanye. Why? Because the details are getting way too specific to brush off. The streets are saying, and again, this is all alleged, that one of those rappers sliding into Jeffree's DMs is Mr. Fi himself, Kanye West. The latest whisper. Kanye was supposedly sending Jeffree his own nudes before they even met in person. Yes, his own pics. What? At first, it sounds like a crazy fan-made story. But when you line it up with Kanye's track record, things start to make more sense.
Let's not forget, there was a legit case not that long ago where Kanye's own assistant accused him of sliding into her messages with explicit photos and wild, unfiltered texts. And that's not internet gossip. That came straight out of legal documents. Like actual court filings, y'all. Black and white receipts.
So, is it really that hard to believe Kanye might have done the exact same thing with Jeffree? Especially with Jeffree boldly claiming rappers have been hitting up his phone, sending pics, trying to link up on the low. It's giving creep vibes. It's giving DL secrets exposed. And honestly, it's giving blackmail energy, because there's talk that Jeffree might have kept one of those pics from Kanye, just in case. Now let's get into that wild rumor about the alleged threesome. Insiders, and again, take it how you want, are saying that during one of Kanye and Kim's final therapy sessions, Ye allegedly brought up the idea of exploring new things, and by that, he meant a threesome. But here's the twist. He wasn't talking about adding another woman. Nope. It was something else entirely. Word is, that's the moment Kim mentally checked out. Allegedly, she hit her limit and was like, I'm done unless you're serious about settling down. For real. That one suggestion might have been the final crack that broke the foundation. And Kim? She wasn't about to raise her kids while battling rumors and scandal 24/7. She was tired of protecting his image while keeping her own dignity in check. To make it even messier, there's now a resurfaced deep-cut clip making the rounds, old footage, real throwback stuff, where Kim supposedly catches Kanye in the back room with someone else. And y'all, the way that video's been edited, it's got everyone talking again. It was sneaky, real sneaky, like one of those slick cover-ups meant to disappear under the rug forever. But the internet? Oh, she never forgets. Most people missed it the first time, but now that this old episode is being rewatched with fresh eyes, fans are convinced Kim straight up walked in on Kanye with someone and shut everything down on the spot. The whole mood flipped, fast. Kim's energy shifted, the cameras cut, and the tension. You could feel it through the screen. And here's the kicker. In that scene, if you look real close, there's a quick glimpse of someone leaving the room. Not a full face, not a whole body, just an arm, and a little movement. But it wasn't giving Bella Thorne vibes. It wasn't some random assistant either. Nah, this felt different. Like it was someone who wasn't supposed to be there at all. People have been flooding the comments under these resurfaced clips, piecing things together. One person wrote, Kim caught them on camera and shut it down. You can literally find the footage if you know what episode to look for. Another user jumped in like, it wasn't Jeffree. no tattoos on the arm. But here's the thing. This moment might not even be about Jeffree. What if this wasn't a one-time slip? What if Kim had caught something that had been going on behind the scenes for a while? What if Kim caught Kanye not just once, but with multiple people? That would explain why she moved so quietly at first, then hit him with the divorce papers real quick. No hesitation. But here's where the mess really starts to spill, because the internet's been arguing over who that mystery person in the footage was. Some folks in the comments are claiming it was Bella Thorne. Others started pushing a rumor that Bella is trans, which, let's be clear, has never been confirmed. But that didn't stop people from using it to fuel this narrative that Kanye was allegedly hooking up with trans women or femme-presenting men while still married to Kim. Let's get this straight. Nobody's here to drag folks who are exploring their identity, or anyone in the LGBTQ+ community. Love who you love, but lying to your spouse, hiding huge parts of your life, and sneaking around behind closed doors, that's where the problem is. Now, this next part, yeah, it's opinion, but let's talk about the pattern. Kanye's always shown signs of having a thing for power and control. Look at how he moves, from his fashion empire to his rants, and even that wild "slavery was a choice" comment that had everyone in shock. It's always about dominance with him. So the idea that he might be exploring his fluidity, if true, totally clashes with the hyper-controlled image he's been trying to push for years. And here's the kicker. If Kanye is exploring this side of himself, it's not just personal. It's political. He spent years pushing a version of masculinity that's all about control, power, and public image. So for something like this to leak, it doesn't just shake his marriage, it could crack his entire brand. Because let's not forget, this is the same man who called out other celebs, shaded queer artists, and tried to present himself as the alpha of all alphas. And now, there are whispers that he was living a completely different life behind closed doors. That's not just ironic, it's explosive. Some insiders even claim that Ye was extra paranoid during the final stretch of his marriage, constantly switching phones, watching who Kim spoke to, and obsessing over controlling the narrative. Makes you wonder, was he protecting his family or hiding his secrets? And y'all, people are saying Jeffree Star isn't the only one holding receipts. Rumor is, someone else might have screenshots, DMs, even voice notes of Kanye allegedly setting up these low-key meetups. If that's true, whew, the silence from his camp is starting to feel loud. So while Kanye's team tries to spin the media with new projects and photo ops, the internet's already knee-deep in receipts and rewatches. And the deeper it goes, the more this image he built starts to crumble. And at this point, people aren't asking if something happened. They're asking just how much is still being hidden. And now the plot's thickening even more, because folks are starting to question how long Kim really knew. Think about it. Kim's one of the most media-trained women in the game. She's built an empire on optics. So the fact that she stayed silent this whole time, that's not by accident. She knew something. Maybe not the full picture, but enough to walk away quietly and keep her image intact. Insiders say Kim didn't want to spark chaos. She wanted out with dignity. No dragging, no interviews, just a clean break. But behind the scenes, she was allegedly furious, not because of who Kanye might have been with, but because he lied. He built a fake version of himself for the world while hiding a whole double life, and she wasn't gonna go down with him. And now, with all this buzz coming back to life, old clips, old tweets, court docs, it's like the puzzle pieces are falling into place. What started off as a wild rumor is starting to look a lot more calculated. People are also pointing out that Kanye's recent public appearances seem off. Ducking interviews, swerving tough questions, acting more paranoid than usual. Some say he's scared of what's coming next, because if those alleged receipts leak, it's game over for the version of Kanye he's been selling all these years. The streets are watching, the timeline's digging, and Kim, she's out here glowing, unbothered, and winning, while Kanye's image quietly unravels in the background. And let's be real, this isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. This is turning into a full-blown image crisis. Because for someone like Kanye, who's built his name on being untouchable, unpredictable, and always in control, these rumors hit way too close to the core. Now fans are side-eyeing everything. Past interviews, lyrics, public meltdowns, wondering if it was all smoke to distract from something deeper. Remember when Ye went on those chaotic rants about Hollywood's secrets, handlers, and the truth being hidden? At the time, people brushed it off like he was spiraling again. But now, some are asking if he was projecting the entire time. And let's not forget his obsession with loyalty. Kanye always made it seem like the world was against him, that he was being betrayed. But maybe the betrayal was never external. Maybe it was about the persona he created and the reality he kept buried. Sources close to the situation are even whispering that Kanye might be trying to strike deals behind the scenes with certain blogs, certain influencers, just to keep things quiet. That's panic mode. That's someone trying to buy silence before the dam breaks. And while Jeffree Star hasn't dropped any new bombshells in the last few days, everyone knows how he moves. Jeffrey plays the long game, and if he's holding something major in the vault, trust. It's only a matter of when, not if, he lets it loose. The real question now is, what's Kanye really afraid of being exposed? So now we're all just waiting, holding our breath, watching every move. Because if Kanye's hiding something this big, it won't stay hidden forever. Not in this era, not with the internet already on the hunt, dissecting every post, every clip, every old lyric that suddenly sounds way too specific. And while Ye's team is busy pushing distractions, new music teases, stage paparazzi shots, fashion drops, the internet ain't biting. People are focused. This isn't just about one tweet or one rumor anymore. It's about a pattern. And that pattern is starting to look like a trail of secrets ready to blow. Even Kanye's inner circle seems quieter than usual. No one's rushing to shut things down. No one's offering real denial, just vague deflections and radio silence. That's not a good sign. Because when someone like Kanye, who lives for the spotlight, suddenly goes ghost when drama hits, that's when you know something's up. And what about Kim? She's been moving like a chess master lately. Calculated, quiet, and glowing harder every time these rumors resurface. She's not lashing out. She's not defending him. She's letting the world connect the dots, all while building her next empire move. At this point, people don't want a statement. They want the truth. And if those hidden receipts, those alleged DMs, pics, messages ever come to light, it's not just Ye's image on the line. It's the whole illusion he's been selling for years. Because let's be honest, Kanye didn't just build a music career. He built a myth, the tortured genius, the misunderstood icon, the fearless truth teller. But what happens when the truth he's been hiding isn't the one he wants out there? That's the danger of trying to live two lives, one for the public and one in the shadows. And if even half of what insiders are saying is true, that mask is starting to slip, fast. We're talking about a man who spent years calling out everyone else for being fake, controlled, or part of some hidden agenda, while possibly living out his own secret storyline behind the scenes. It's wild. And now fans are going back, rewatching everything. Old Keeping Up with the Kardashians clips, old concerts, even deleted tweets, piecing together the timeline. People are saying there were clues this whole time, but no one wanted to believe it. There's even buzz that a major outlet has been sitting on a bigger expose, waiting for the perfect time to drop it. Think exclusive texts, behind-the-scenes photos, even audio. If that's real, it's gonna shake everything. Because this isn't just about Kanye and Jeffrey anymore. This is about what happens when the story you built starts falling apart and the people around you stop covering for it. Kim already walked away. The team's going silent. And Jeffrey? He's still holding the mic. What happens when he finally presses send? And that's exactly why it feels like Kanye's trying so hard to bury it. He's not lashing out because Jeffrey lied. He's lashing out because someone finally said the quiet part out loud. This ain't about false rumors. It's about secrets getting dragged into the light. But let's flip the camera for a sec. Could this all just be Jeffrey doing what he does best? Stirring chaos to stay in the spotlight? Let's not act brand new. The beauty YouTube scene fell off, and Jeffrey's whole persona has always been the villain, the unpredictable wild card. And if you peep the pattern, every time Jeffrey starts drama, a product launch is right behind it. Still, some things just aren't adding up. Like, how did Kanye and Jeffrey even link up without paparazzi catching it? These aren't two low-key influencers. They're both A-list drama magnets, constantly surrounded by assistants, teens, fans, and cameras. So how'd they pull off secret meetups? Unless this all went down way back, during Kanye's Wyoming recluse era. That stretch of time where he dipped off the grid, wrapped himself in gospel, and barely showed face. Maybe it was during that Jesus is King phase when no one knew what he was doing behind those ranch gates. Either way, in Hollywood, where there's smoke, there's almost always fire. And don't be surprised if Kanye's team tries to flip the script next week, probably by dropping a new track, launching some wild fashion drop, or dropping a 3-minute video of him staring blankly into the camera like it's performance art. Classic Ye. You know how Kanye moves. Unpredictable, loud, and always chasing control. But one thing's for sure and two things are certain. This scandal isn't going anywhere. Not this time. Whether you buy into the rumors or not, The fact that Jeffree even dared to hint at it, that says a lot. And Kanye's silence, that says even more. Cause let's be real, when has he ever kept quiet? The man usually claps back before the tweet even finishes loading. But Kim, she's quiet, real quiet. Probably somewhere in Calabasas, sipping matcha, watching the internet finally piece together what she's known all along. And the way she's just letting it unfold without saying a word, that's not shade, that's strategy. That's clocked and collected.
So now we're all left wondering, is Jeffree really spilling truth? Is Kanye out here living a double life behind all that designer and gospel talk? Or is this just another Hollywood smoke show meant to distract us while something bigger brews in the shadows?
Whatever it is, it's loud. And the silence from Kanye's side is even louder.
The internet's watching, the fans are dissecting, and the truth, it's itching to break free.
So what do you think? Is Jeffree keeping it 100? Or is this all just elite-level trolling with receipts in the vault? Drop your thoughts, because something tells me this story's just getting started.
And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.